Good morning, Nairobi. Good morning, Niamey. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Lusaka. Good morning, Addis. Good morning, Abidjan. Good morning, Dubai. Good morning, London. Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, New York. Good morning, Seattle. Good morning, San Diego. Good morning, Sydney. Good morning, Africa. I can even say good afternoon depending on where you're listening to me from. You're listening to the show that brings you the very best in the emerging sound of urban Africa with me, Dr. Pete Odera. Proudly brought to you by Mandate Records and Geo Entertainment. Today we're going to be talking to our youngest guest ever, 14-year-old award-winning singer Shanna. I'm overjoyed at my guest today. I met her when she was probably 5 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Shanna. Shanna, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, and what your musical influences are.
Well, my name is Shanna Manjeru, born on 30th March 2008. 5 months after I was born in Nairobi, Kenya, my parents left the country. So I can say that I also grew up in Switzerland, Indonesia, and Ethiopia.
Wow.
I am the last born of 2 siblings. My musical influences have been changed with growing up.
Right.
Born in a Christian family, my parents ushered me into gospel music. So I grew up listening to pop and rock music. That says a lot about my songs.
It does.
Now that I'm a bit older, I've grown to like more alternative or urban style music, like my latest song, Not Ashamed.
Right. And you're not ashamed to plug your own song. We're going to play that song in a bit. Shanna, I remember when I first met you as a child. I remember my wife and I trying to get you, this was in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. My wife and I was trying to get you to use your indoor voice. And tell us a little bit about your experience and how you got involved in music and in ministry.
Yeah, I remember that. You see, I grew up singing without any vocal training. I consider this God's gift to me. I sang gospel cover songs to sound as close as possible like the original musician. As a child, I belted out those cover songs loudly without much consideration about vocal control. Over time, with support from my parents, I've learned vocal techniques.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how my parents discovered my talent. At 3 years old, in a restaurant on a Sunday afternoon while having lunch, I requested my parents to sing on a stage in the restaurant. There was no stage in that restaurant, but I could see an imaginary one. My parents refused, but I disobeyed and went to sing a nursery rhyme. My parents beaconed me to stop disturbing the packed restaurant.
Yeah.
Instead, I sang louder and louder. I refused to listen to my parents. So I stood on my chair, made it my stage, and sang very loudly a nursery rhyme. Once done, surprisingly, people at the restaurant cheered as I sat down and continued eating like nothing happened. Ever since then, my parents noticed this musical talent is worth following up on and were determined to help nurture it. At only 7 years old, my parents put up my first ever music concert with an audience. And in it, I sang gospel songs. Let's say my musical path in ministry was now set. And the rest is history.
And the rest indeed is history. Let's take a walk down that path. This is one of your earlier songs. It's about 5 years ago. You were 9 when you recorded this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanna with God Will Listen.
Sometimes it gets so hard to believe that what you want, you'll receive.
That's Shanah Manjeru with God Will Listen. Guys, that was a 9-year-old Shanah. I'm actually blown away. I really am. Shanah, not many people know that you're an award-winning artist and a host on Nat Geo. What other things are you involved in other than music?
I enjoy dancing to songs. My late song, Not Ashamed, has some interesting dance moves.
We'll play it.
I also enjoyed acting. At one point in 2019, Hollywood, USA, reached out to me to audition to play the late Aretha Franklin when she was a child.
Wow.
It was such an honor to even be considered to represent the
Are you
life
kidding
of
me?
such
Wow.
a global icon.
Right.
Sadly, I didn't get the coveted part. Oh, I don't believe I missed that major acting role. But hey, now I know Hollywood has my number.
They do.
One day I will land a role in a major film.
I believe
As
it.
they say, all dreams are valid.
I believe it.
have also been involved in helping the less fortunate members of our society by donating clothes and other items where possible.
That's so generous of you. In fact, it speaks to the next song that we want to listen to from Shanah Manjeru. Here is We Are One. This was recorded a little later. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanah, We Are One.
We are one, together in love. We are one, together in spirit. We are one, hold
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Good Morning Africa with me, Dr. Peter Dare. My guest today is Shanah Manjeru, 14-year-old prodigy, they call her. I want to hear from a young person for a change. I ask every guest the same question. There's a new wave of music rising in Africa and in the diaspora. Tell us what you think is happening with this new generation of music. And by the way, what do you enjoy? What kind of music do you enjoy?
I enjoy Afrobeat and K-pop.
K-pop.
Music is not meant to be static.
Mm-hmm.
It has always changed with time.
Mm-hmm.
I know my parents enjoyed breakdance music in their days.
They did.
I like the new age alternative or urban music and exploring how to fuse some Afrobeats into some of my future songs.
Mm-hmm.
The most important is to compose music that is speaking to the soul.
Right.
Hence, my songs are all about directing people to the good Lord Almighty.
Right. Before I let you go, Shanna, and before we listen to the amazing Not Ashamed, I'd like you to speak to the young person who's living in a very confusing time. How should we help that young person dealing with these difficult situations, with failure? Help us move past this and let's inspire some hope.
With all the challenges young people face, like suicide, joblessness, drug abuse, among others, there is clearly the need for someone to show them some direction.
Right.
So I use my platforms on social media to reach thousands of young people with messages of hope.
Right.
I have also been to events where I have inspired young people to never give up on life, regardless of how tough it is.
Wow.
Being a mentor and influencer, I have taken a step further by helping musically talented young people to record music. The journey continues.
Thank you so much, Shanna. It's so amazing. We're inspired. I'm inspired myself. I'm completely inspired. Thank you for coming and thank you for really just sharing your gift with the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanah Manjeru with her latest song, Not Ashamed. It'll blow you away. Tighten your seatbelts. I hate to love you and then leave you, but I got to go. I want to appreciate the wonderful, hardworking people at Mandate Records and the phenomenal people at GUA Entertainment. I also want to appreciate the incredible work of eSpace Marketing and Design in Marrakesh in Morocco this past year. And of course, the lovely people at the Ruach West Church in Nairobi City. I love you all. We continue to bring you the very best in the emerging sound of urban Africa. Until next time,